car for Larry Pearson. Sent us Easter baskets with all the fresh little notes on Larry right here, so we appreciate that. In fact, I understand the Easter Bunny has had a very busy weekend. Let's go trackside. Here's Glenn Jarrett.
Oh, man, I am really tired. I've been up all night delivering these baskets. You know what? We're back at Hickory, North Carolina. We're back on the short track, and back on the pole is David Green. But he hopes there's something else. He wants a win in his Easter basket today.
Yeah, that's a victory here. What about them mirrors there, Glenn? Slim Jim Chevrolets ran awful good, you know, and want to say hello to all those people and everybody back home spending Easter. My day's not going to be as comfortable as yours, but we hope to put this Chevrolet in victory lane today. Well,
in the last practice session yesterday, folks, David had a little problem with the chassis on the car. The crew worked all morning. Is it okay, David?
Yeah, everything's fine. We just had a bolt break right there and kind of messed us up. But, you know, this car is great. It's been good ever since we unloaded. So if the driver does his job today, we'll be in victory lane.
Well, he is way, way overdue for a win. I think it might come today, Easter Sunday, here at Hickory Speedway. Mike?
Well, Glenn, good luck getting your headset to fit over those floppy ears, silly wabbit. Buddy Baker has won 2 races here at Hickory. Joins me, and you talk about a tight, tough place to go racing.
Well, it is that, Mike, and I guarantee everybody wants to win at Hickory. You know, it's rich in tradition. It's kind of like the Southern 500 in Darlington. Everybody in this field today would like to leave here saying, hey, I've won at Hickory. It's a great racetrack.
Tradition's one thing, but what's more important here, handling or horsepower?
Definitely handling. I've been up here with a car that I had no chance of winning with, and you get a little off on power, and it would hook up, and all of a sudden you'd be leading the race. Handling is 90% of it.
Well, in a moment, we'll find out who's got the handle to handle this tough 1/3 mile, and we'll go find the rest of the Easter eggs in this field when we come back.
I love mornings after my dad would race. I'd sneak out to the garage, and just by looking, I could tell how well he did the night before. I got my first taste of racing and my first taste of SunDrop right here.
SunDrop, the taste you go wild for, and a favorite in the Earnhardt garage for over 40 years.
Some things just kind of run in the family.
For extra value, catch the SunDrop Intimidator.
You know you can count on the Intimidator.
There's no place on earth that I'd rather be than out in the open where it's all plain to see. If it's gonna get done, it's up to you and to me, and there's no place that I'd rather be. Come on along and head for the mountains of Bushmere. Head for the mountains, it's cold and it's smooth, and it's waiting for you. Come on, head for the mountains of Bushmere.
I found that everything I use it for just increases the power. It's like getting an engine option.
America is talking about split fire.
It was just unbelievable how it ran and how much better gas mileage was.
I had heard about the plugs, and everybody said they were great, and I tried it myself, and it did increase my gas mileage.
And it runs just like a brand new engine. I mean, it's got power just like if it was brand new right off the showroom floor. They're the best plugs I ever put in my cars.
Split fire. At $5.99, it only costs more till you use it.
In New Britain, Connecticut, people know how to make a home worth more.
The Hummels are doing a new deck.
Because New Britain is also the home of Stanley.
Frank is redoing his roof.
And nobody has more innovative ways to make a house more livable.
Liz is redoing her bathroom.
Or more valuable.
And the Sandowskis are redoing everything.
Ever wish you had a better house?
So, Arnold.
Why not get started on the one you've got?
What are we doing?
Today's exclusive TNN coverage of the SunDrop 400 from Hickory is brought to you by SunDrop. Race to the great taste of SunDrop. It's a taste you'll go wild for. By Smooth Bush Beer and easy drinking Bush Light. By Split Fire, the patented performance spark plug. It only costs more until you use it. And by Stanley Tools. Since 1843, Stanley's been helping people do things right. Welcome back to Hickory Motor Speedway. There on the right side of the screen are those brightly painted Easter eggs, but they've each got 4 tires and about 500 horsepower. Before we start this race at Hickory, let's bring you up to speed on the Busch Series. Here's the Haviland update. Point leader Terry Labonte is not at Hickory today, leaving perhaps Kenny Wallace, Randy LaJoie, or Hermie Sadler to leave here with the point lead. Here's the rest of the top 10, anchored by David Green, today's pole sitter. So Labonte leads the win list with 2. Mark Martin picked up the victory last week at Darlington. Among the Busch Series regulars, the man on the move has been number 8, Kenny Wallace. Second here at Richmond, third at Martinsville, and fourth at Darlington. Wallace is a contender for the title. Who else, Kenny?
Well, most definitely, Randy LaJoie is going to be pretty tough. Randy's got a lot of experience in these cars, and plus he's a hard driver. You know, Larry Pearson is coming on. You know, you look at Ricky Craven and Hermie Sadler. I mean, you know, you're looking at the top 5 guys in points right now, and then there's some people that are going to get on a hot streak. But those are the people that that I feel like, are going to be really tough to beat.
Here are the top rookie contenders in the series, and of these 5, Johnny Benson, Dennis Setzer, and Stevie Reeves all qualified for today's race. Pre-race is complete, and we're set to go racing here at Hickory, North Carolina, live this Easter Sunday on TNN. Stay with us.
So when I turn the key, it sounds like my starter is going bad. And so I figured since I heard about AutoZone, it was as good a place to try as any, right? But get this. I go in there to buy a starter. The guy tells me we need to test my old one first just to make sure that's not the problem. It turns out that it's a solenoid switch. That one little test saved me a big headache. You know, that AutoZone's all right. And when you get service like that, I mean, you don't forget it.
Where can you go to see the biggest stars in country music all in one place? Opryland, Music City, USA, presenting Nashville on Stage. Opryland's new concert series with over 720 shows by resident superstars like Alabama.
We're spending the summer at Opryland. How about you?
The Oak Ridge Boys, Tammy Wynette, Tanya Tucker, and George Jones.
I'm doing 108 shows, and you'd better catch at least one.
3 theaters, 150 nights of concerts starring Susie Bogus, Marty Stewart, Emmylou Harris, Sammy Kershaw, Kathy Mattea, just to name a few. So if you want to be where the stars shine bright this summer, call 1-800-337-4500 to get complete information and schedules. And if you order tickets by May 1st, you'll receive the Music City Coupon Book, $100 worth of coupons for Nashville hotels and attractions. Don't wait. Call now and get your free information packet. 1-800-337-4500.
See y'all at Opryland's Nashville on Stage. I'll be there.
The engines are running here at Hickory, North Carolina, and we're set to go racing. Today's starting lineup is brought to you by the Sears Die Hard Battery. On the pole at 89.262 miles per hour, David Green, third pole this year, and they've all come on short tracks. On the outside, Ricky Craven, who finished second in this race 1 year ago. The surprise winner here last November, Johnny Rumley, has qualified his Chevy in third. And Kenny Wallace, who has second, third, and fourth place finishes, starts fourth today. Hometown hero Tommy Houston has won 8 times on this racetrack. He'll roll off fifth. And Robert Presley cut his teeth here as well. He's sixth in the point standings, starting sixth. Jim Bound has his best qualifying effort of 1994. And going 8th, Hermie Sadler, who's the number 3-point man. And his brother's a racer, too. Had a strong run last evening on a short track nearby. Tommy Ellis, a 3-time winner at Hickory, goes 9th. And Tom Peck has his first top 10 qualifying effort this season. Back in row number 6, Mike Wallace finished 10th here last year. And starting 12th, Larry Pearson, who won here in 1984 and 1985. Jason Keller makes his second start at Hickory, and Stevie Reeves, one of the top rookie contenders. Former modified champ Mike McLaughlin will share the 8th row with Kenny Schrader, who looks for his first Busch Series win since '89. There's the leading rookie on the circuit, Johnny Benson Jr. He'll go from row 9 along with Doug Hebrod, who finished 5th at Martinsville. Tim Fedewa has a new sponsor to reward his 3 top 10 finishes this year. And Robbie Reiser from Wisconsin makes his third Busch Series start. Randy LaJoie, third place point man, will start 21st, and Dave Rezendes makes his 7th Hickory start. Bobby Dotter has 3 top 10s here, and Dennis Setzer's won here 39 times in late model stocks. Dirk Stevens from the NASCAR Northwest Tour, and Elton Sawyer has a pair of top 10s here. Kevin LePage, his 5th Busch Series start, and Chris Diamond, Hickory Speedway regular, makes his Busch debut. The provisional starters are Chad Little, who is 7th in the point standings, and Tracy Leslie, who is 9th in the point parade. From the pace car, the Ford Thunderbird that sets the pace here at Hickory. Looking back at the front row, and today we'll ride along with Bobby Dotter in the DeWalt Tools Chevrolet. First time we've ever had 4 movable cameras in any car. There's the race cam that tilts and pans. We've got what Gary Clem calls the doggy out the window looking cam. And there it is from the passenger side. And if the dog moves over to the driver's side, that's what he will see over there. And here's the Snoop Doggy Dog cam underneath the rear bumper of Bobby Dotter's car. And that, of course, will pan 360 degrees as well. And you'll have a little look at the left rear suspension on Dotter's machine. Tough to make the field here, as it's been every race. Look at this list of drivers who were not able to qualify for today's event. Some of these drivers have been to every Busch race this season and found it a tough time getting into the field. And there are some series regulars like Rodney Combs and Richard Lassiter in that group as well, who did not make the show today. 30 cars will start as they come off turn number 4 this time. David Green heads them down for turn number 1 on the 3rd mile Hickory Speedway for the first of 300 laps today. It's going to be Craven looking for the lead out of turn 2. Good clean start. And it is Craven who goes to the front.
Craven said he made a lot of changes on the car, hoping they were right this morning. Looks like he's got it dialed in pretty good. He was loose in the last practice, so he made some adjustments, but he looks like he's well on his way here.
Dirk Stevens from the Northwest, and there's Dennis Setzer, another hometown favorite, looking for Bobby Dotter's car. The laps went off pretty quickly here at Hickory, 15, 16 second range. So if one car gets hooked up, you're making a tough day for the rest of the field. 3 laps into the race.
Look at Johnny Rumbley there. He won the race here the last time we were here, and I tell you what, he just has a knack of getting around this racetrack. He really runs well here.
Rumbley in the 00, the big dog Cole car, started 3rd, and he's after David Green's runner-up spot.
Well, he's not the big dog yet, but he's working on it.
He was here last November. There's Kenny Wallace, the TIC Financial Board, number 8, and Robert Presley, another hometown star, in the 99.
Yeah, you see Kenny Wallace there. I tell you, this year he has really, really improved in his driving style. I think he's ready for the Winston Cup Series next year.
Back at 9th spot, there's Tom Peck in the Channellock, number 31, battling Jim Bound. 9th spot going to Peck there.
Talking about 31 car, Steve Grissom is here today. I said, that's what you do on your day off. You're a racer. You go watch your car run.
I had dinner with Jeff Bodine Friday night up in Greensboro. I said, how do you feel about having a weekend off? And he looked at me and he kind of hesitated, and we both agreed on guilty. It's like we ought to be doing something.
That's why Kenny Schrader's here.
Ricky Craven is legging it out. Here's Tommy Ellis and Tom Peck battling. New sponsor for Ellis this week, Chevy dealership. And you got about 3 or 4 of them on that car. Here's this battle once again as they come off the corner. RK Chevrolet on Tommy Ellis and Moen Fawcett.
You know, one thing about a short track, you see like Tommy Ellis just got past there, and you think he's kind of out of it, but a lot of people wait, and you know, with the tire rules they have and all, a lot of people lay back at the first part of the race and wait to adjust the chassis and get back in the fray after they make their first stop.
Both Goodyear and Hoosier tires came to Hickory, but none of the Hoosier shod cars made the field. The entire field's on Goodyear's today.
Well, they are, but Hoosier let everybody that's under contract to them go to Goodyear when they got here because they found that the sidewall on this particular tire is a little too stiff, and when the track got greasy, it would slide across the surface. So, you know, it shows a lot of class for Hoosier.
Look at the lead Ricky Craven's built up here in just a few laps. 12 laps into this race. That's where the pressure is right there. Johnny Rumbley in 3rd. In the 00, Kenny Wallace and Robert Presley.
Robert Presley, he's at this racetrack anytime he's anywhere near the front. He's been around this place a million times.
That's about as close as you can get without touching. As Wallace and Rumbley were a second ago, and Presley's decided the low groove is going to prevail here. Here he comes.
Yeah, he can run out of the place, so that's the good part. I've watched him pass cars on the outside in early goings here, so it looks like Robert Presley's really dialed in pretty decent. There's Hermie Sadler coming in the picture.
Now, Sadler's number 25, Virginia's for Lovers Chevrolet, got badly damaged in the last practice here yesterday. We'll get an update in a bit from Glenn on what they've done. Glenn, what's the update on Hermie Sadler's car this morning?
Well, Mike, they worked long and hard and pretty well destroyed all the suspension on the left front of the car. They worked and replaced all that. It was just a shot in the dark as to whether they got everything straight or not. I'm really impressed with the way the car is running right now. Seems to be okay.
I would agree. He said they made an educated guess for what to do today.
These guys are pretty educated when it comes to these racetracks. Whoa, hold that thing. Oh, he got it back straight. Rumley says, I'm a little loose. I think I'll take it easy for a couple of laps.
Here's Tommy Houston moving up. And the number 6, his last victory came right here at Hickory.
Yeah, he's got 24 wins on the Busch Grand National Circuit, and I think 8 of them come from Hickory. So he's a real threat anytime he's running in a race here.
You know, back at Rockingham, we said, you know, somebody really needs to pick up and sponsor Tommy Houston. It's a good car without a deal, and a fellow named Ed Johnson, who runs a financial services company, heard that and put his name on that car for Darlington. Tommy said they just ran a few laps, so they left it on to give him a good ride here at Hickory.
You know, you see Houston going on the inside there. You look like he'd just go right on by, but at this racetrack, the angle coming off the corner, when you're right on the bottom of the racetrack, you don't run off the corner quite as fast as the car on the outside. So to get by him, you got to really drive in hard and hope that the outside car maybe washes out a little bit.
Rumley's car looks pretty good on the high side, though.
Well, anytime you're loose, you have to move up on the racetrack and hope that you can use more real estate to keep from having to turn it tight and letting the back end jump out on it.
Trouble, turn 2, Dave Rezendes in the Lipton T Ford. Up into the wall in turn number 2.
You see all the dirt and debris on the outside of this groove right here. Once you get out there, you're in a lot of trouble because all the rubber dust and everything builds up on the high side of the racetrack. You get out there, you're pretty well wrecked.
In the pits today, they were trying to find somebody to spot for Rezendes today up on the roof and warn him of any trouble on the racetrack, but this time, sadly, it was him. At Hickory, we are 24 laps completed. We'll be right back.
Performance. Every element on the track is matched by one off the track. Off the track and into the high-performance heat pump systems of Luxair. Speed is matched by high efficiency, protection by strong warranty, handling by quiet operation, and power by year-round Luxair comfort. Winners in performance, #1 in comfort, Luxair. A reason for loving every season.
Hey, Mike, hand me my channel lock pliers.
Tommy, hand me that plier over there with the blue handles. What kind of pliers is that? These are channel lock tongue and groove pliers. My dad uses them on his race car, too.
For the tough jobs and the small jobs, reach for Channel Lock, the handiest plier of them all.
Hey, guys, anybody seen the channel lock pliers?
Channel Lock. Be sure you're getting genuine Channel Lock pliers. Look for this trademark.
No matter how much you know about cars, there are times when you could use a little friendly advice. At Advance Auto Parts, we're trained to answer almost any question about cars, including how to reattach a parking brake retaining spring.
This is the perfect time to try my new Polaroid Captiva.
Hey, where's the picture? There's no picture? How can that be a Polaroid camera if there's no picture?
The Polaroid Captiva. The pictures stay in till you take them out.
Maybe if you shake it.
Yeah, shake the camera.
Leave it to Peerless Faucet to create a shower so smart, it can not only sense when a toilet has been flushed, it can also adjust the water temperature accordingly. Scald Guard technology by Peerless. Get more out of your faucet than just water.
Happy Easter, everybody. Whatever holiday you're celebrating at home, glad to have you with us on TNN today. SunDrop 400 at Hickory, North Carolina. Late model sportsman action follows this with not one, but 2 Earnhardts in the field. Carrie and Kelly. Dale's older son and daughter are in the field for that race this afternoon.
He's got 3 kids that are very talented.
The way they're running after 27 laps now. First caution of the day. A couple of cars have made pit stops here.
This has been fun this weekend. We watched Dale Jarrett's son run yesterday in his first race ever. He finished 5th. I thought he was very impressive.
Yep, the late model stocks. Let's get an update on pit stops. Here's Glenn.
Well, Mike Daverzina just left out of here. He's trying to repair that damage to the left rear of the car. It appeared to me, I was looking right at him, looked like he might have gotten the corner a little too hard. A lot of cars are loose. Chad Little came in under the caution, took a rubber out of the right rear spring. That's to soften the rear end up, try to get a little bit better bite. One thing keep an eye on, years past here at Hickory, when you see a car bolt out to a big lead like Ricky Craven has, that car is usually really hooked up at that time, but when the tires wear down, he'll come back to the field, so keep an eye on him. I don't think he can sustain that pace very long.
Thanks, Glenn. We'll see. There's a look at Resendi's car. NASCAR is going to see, make sure that isn't flopping around. They'll try to leave him out there. Chris Diamond ran into Resendi's after the spin and has some front-end damage on his number 68. We're back under green.
Talking about spinning going in the corner, there's a fine line here. I mean, you're just like walking a tight wire. I mean, you make the wrong move here and the car will turn around so quick you can't believe it.
And they're going to put the black flag out for Resendi's. They want him to tie down that left rear quarter panel. Here's Robert Presley in the Budget Gourmet Chevy, number 99, going after Kenny Wallace.
I was watching Kenny's car. It hangs out just a little bit in the center of the corner, and it looks like Robert Presley's car might just have a little bit better handle in the center part of the corner than Wallace's car. See it wash out there.
You see much difference here, Chevy versus Ford?
Not really. This racetrack is all handling. If you hit the combination, the motor it's something to get you to point A to point B. You can lose a cylinder here a lot of times and pick up because you can use the throttle more than you can when you're hitting on all 8, or 6 in this case.
Well, they've left Hermie Sadler by about a car length or 2. Once again, it's Ricky Craven, though, who's hooked up. Battle here is for second place. And a little further back, Dirk Stevens. There's Bobby Dotter, and a look out the right side window at Elton Sawyer. Ford red carpet lease machine.
Good shot. Almost a good shot.
Almost a shot inside. A little close going into the corner. They're in 3 and out of 4.
As you can see down the side of these cars, this is a contact sport, whether you believe it or not. And there's a little door where wheels got into the door there. If you make it through here without scratching it up, you've done something.
Sawyer told me he got a phone call last night. Ooh, yeah, that's close. He got a phone call, and he almost couldn't hear the caller. There was so much noise going on. It was Bill Davis, who owns Bobby Labonte's car that Sawyer used to work for on the Busch circuit last year. Spin up in turn 4. Mike McLaughlin spins it and gets going again. There he is. Spun it around and just kept on going. Davis was calling from the Arkansas game down in Charlotte at the Coliseum for Final 4 action to call and ask Elton how he made out.
Yeah, and congratulate. Oh, we have a spin coming out of 4. Randy LaJoie's in the middle of it.
Dennis Setzer, Bobby Dotter. Ouch. Dirk Stevens just barely got stopped in time. Bobby Reiser.
Randy LaJoie's back under power here. That's real important to him. He's moved up to 3rd place in the points right now, and I'm sure he wants to stay there or better himself today.
There were at least 4 cars involved in that one.
I'd say Dennis Setzer's pretty well done. The front end of that car is really wiped out.
5 cars. Setzer on his home racetrack has not had a good start to the day.
Boy, that's a lot of damage. That's where they keep the oil coolers and, of course, the radiators right under there where they're pulling on. So there's a lot of damage to that car.
There's a fresh radiator already out to go on there. See, Stevie Reeves is around off the nose of LaJoie. Reiser goes spinning. Setzer piled right in. Bobby Dotter got into it. Dirk Stevens got stopped. Now, from Bobby Dotter's car, let's show you what he saw. All right, we're not going to, that's not quite what he saw. But, Doug Hevron's car appeared to bog down there in turn 4, and the field stacked up behind him. That's how that one seemed to have gotten
Mike,
started.
the one thing you noticed, you didn't see a lot, but you heard a lot. You could hear it sound like somebody backed into the garage door every 30, 40 feet there. Poop, poop, poop.
That's it. Here's how they're running. Second caution of the day comes out. We're at 41 laps.
Want to learn how to catch the big bass like Roland Martin? Then watch his show on TNN Outdoors. You could also win the TNN Outdoors Fish America Sweepstakes. The grand prize is a complete fishing rig and an Alaskan fishing adventure. Watch Fishing with Roland Martin.
There's something fresh and healthy cooking all across this land. Hello, good roasted chicken. Goodbye, frying pan. It's juicy, tender, tasty, like you do it if you could. It's Kenny Rogers Roasters. It's the wood that makes it good.
You're going to love this food.
Kenny Rogers Roasters. It's the wood that makes it good.
Own the curves. Own the streets. Own any new Kawasaki with 90-day no-pay financing. 90-day, no-pay, go play. For a limited time for qualified buyers. Only at participating Kawasaki dealers.
Kawasaki, available at Granny's, 17th Street in Sarasota.
Well, they gave the 1 lap to go sign to go back to green, and now the caution flag's waving once again. Randy LaJoie lost a lap in that skirmish. He'll be trying to get it back on the restart from Ricky Craven. Let's show you from the start-finish line what happened up there. Watch the top of your screen.
Big traffic jam, I can tell you that.
No place to go.
I was looking at Randy LaJoie's car. The back end torn up considerably because he did take a pretty good shot straight in, but it's all below the rear spoiler, so it shouldn't hurt the car as far as the handling. You see, the back end's caved in. He got a real shot there, but had it been up about 3 or 4 inches and knocked that rear spoiler back or hurt it in that direction, you'd really have handling trouble.
Well, Ricky Craven's been the fastest car here. It's doubtful anybody can get a lap back from him, but let's see what happens. Lap 45 will be the green flag.
He's got a bulldog on the outside. We'll see.
Stevie Reeves right behind.
Oh, what a jump.
Yep. Also a lap down because of the incident are Dirk Stevens and Bobby Dotter. They're riding with Dotter this time as he hugs the high groove down into turn 3. Tommy Houston on the inside. And the left front of Dotter's car looks pretty bent. Houston underneath Stevie Reeves. Looked like he was going after Johnny Rumley there for a moment.
You have to show a lot of patience when you're running on this racetrack, and that's what these guys are doing right now. I see the 05 of Tommy Ellis has got a big piece of metal hanging off on the left front. I wouldn't be surprised if he won't get the black. As a matter of fact, they're putting the black flag out on him right now.
Yep. There's a look at the car just coming into frame. The whole right fender is peeled back on Ellis's car. Watch Kenny Schrader there in 52 as he's moving up behind Jason Keller.
See Schrader there, I think he would rather race anything else on this earth. I mean, when he has 2 minutes off on the weekend, he wants to race somewhere.
Here's your Napa Field standing update brought to you by Napa. We keep America running. Here's where the field.
Our doggy Cam had to get back in the car there.
That was Jim Bound saying hello to Bobby Dotter. Chad Little going by.
Bobby's having a lot of trouble with that car. He really got the front end caved in that wreck. I wouldn't be surprised if our doggy Cam don't have to come in.
Here's the battle for 6th place. Tommy Houston is underneath Johnny Rumley.
Boy.
Going to use that lap car of Dirk Stevens as a pick. Tom Peck gets underneath. It's in 3 wide for a moment going into turn 3.
Mike, you just said the key to Hickory. try to find a slower car and make a move when you know that he can't make any counter when you start in the corner, and you can pass him real easy, and once you get the position, you keep it.
That's what Tommy Houston did, and now he pulls up on Hermie Sadler. Trouble in 3. Schrader got into the back of Jason Keller. Keller went around. Chad Little spins to miss everybody. Well, Keller's going to stay on the lead lap.
Easy leaders. Whoa.
And Randy LaJoie
gets his lap back.
Heads up move by LaJoie. Now, the way the rule is written, you race back to the start-finish line. But the way the rule is interpreted and enforced is that only if you are racing the leader to get a lap back, only if you're racing the leader do you run back to the start-finish line. So Craven checked up. Randy LaJoie went on and got back on the lead lap. Third caution of the day. They come quickly here at Hickory. We'll be right back.
You can compare the new Suzuki RF to a lot of things. Another motorcycle isn't one of them.
Don't miss Suzuki's truly moving, dealing days.
Race ya for SunDrop? Okay. Man, you never raced that Earnhardt kid for a SunDrop.
Tangy, refreshing SunDrop. The taste you go wild for. And an Earnhardt racing tradition from the very start.
Hey, Dale, racing for SunDrop. Timmy, don't you ever learn? For extra value, catch the SunDrop Intimidator. You know you can count on the Intimidator.
A Champion Spark Plug 300 is coming to Charlotte Motor Speedway Saturday, May 28th. And if you act now, you can be one of only 8,000 to buy a ticket and get a car. What? That's right. Buy a ticket, get a car. Charlotte Motor Speedway has commissioned racing champions to produce this first in a series of backstretch ticket collectibles. At only $15, this $25 ticket collector car combo will move in record time. So call for yours today.
It's time to catch spring fever at Napa, the place more people rely on to keep their vehicles running and to help them save. Get Autolite or Champion resistor spark plugs, your choice, just 69 cents. A Napa Lawn and Garden battery is just $19.99 with exchange. Spring is the perfect time for this handy 8-piece cooler combo, just $18.99. So spring into your nearest Napa Auto Parts store today and catch the fever.
Today's exclusive coverage of the SunDrop 400 on TNN is brought to you by Napa. We keep America running.
Gonna look for green right here at lap 59. Jason Keller's car gets a push, gets off pit road. Robbie Reiser's still there, so is Dennis Setzer. Tommy Ellis has climbed out of his car. Too much damage to the right front to continue. The race picks up about like we left it. Ricky Craven quickly distancing the field. A lot of folks in the pits after yesterday's practice and his qualifying run thought that Craven might see that first career checkered flag in this series today.
Well, you have feelings about things, and I felt all the whole week that Ricky Craven was going to be the car to beat, and it makes you feel better when you see it out front like that. But there's plenty of competition behind him. That pole car sitting right behind him, David Green, right there. He can move so fast. I mean, he looks like he closes in anytime he wants to.
Once again, Randy LaJoie made a pit stop. Here's LaJoie moving up on Mike McLaughlin. Brett Bodine is here as a spotter for McLaughlin today. They're both graduates of the NASCAR Modified Tour. Brett and his brother Todd got to see Final Four action down at the Coliseum last night. Todd's sponsor, Adidas, one of the sponsors on his car, and they set him up with some tickets.
Now, right there is where Randy LaJoie has all his problems. He's trying to get up out of the corner. You can drive into the corner a little bit harder and make the front end push out just a little bit, but trying to get off the corner when they want to spin the wheels is when loose really bothers you.
Yeah, had to check up there, and that's why. Chad Little is around, and so is the 68 of Chris Diamond. The Hickory Speedway regular. No caution flag. Both drivers get going again. Black flag out on Jason Keller. He's trailing the left rear sheet metal from that last incident. Greenville, South Carolina rookie will have to make a stop. I'll show you again what happened here in the backstretch.
Wow, that's hard to tell from right there. They may have touched back in the corner there, but Chad Little's car, that's the second time he's been around, so I'm not sure whether 68 got sideways to begin with and caused that or not.
Battle for the lead right here, as David Green had a look underneath Ricky Craven going into turn 3.
You know, just this car, no matter who comes up here, when Labonte was in it, he was up front, and David Green was the crew chief at that time. Now they moved him over as driver. This car is very impressive. The longer you run under Green, he's right there every time. And I didn't mean that as a pun.
Robbie Reiser's back in the race. The former star of Slinger Speedway in Wisconsin is running just ahead of the leaders. There's his blue number 17 car.
Doug Hebron's having a little problem there. Up. Dirk Stevens up on the inside wall on the back straightaway there. No caution.
Welcome to Hickory.
Yeah. Boy, I tell you, getting out of the corner here, if you're loose, it's really critical. There'll be a lot of chassis adjustments when they finally do make a green flag stop.
Stevens, we told you at Martinsville, had to sit out the race when they lost their only motor in practice. They've since picked up a Larry Wallace motor. They've got a couple others in the shop and a couple other coming back from being freshened. Crew Chief Rick Wren told me, so they're set to go for a while.
See Kenny Wallace moving in on those first 2 cars there. I think he's found a place in the middle part of the racetrack. He seems to really be running quite well.
Wallace in 3rd place in the number 8 car. Robert Presley right there in 4th. And both those drivers exhibiting a lot of patience in the early going here.
Yeah, you know, Harry Gant always, we accuse him of running a high groove, but Harry Gant probably won as many times here at Hickory as anybody has, and he was able to adapt to a higher or lower line, whatever he had to do to make the car faster. See Kenny's approach in the corner there was a little higher, but it seems to be letting him get off the corner real fast. Oh man.
Tommy Houston got into Hermie Sadler. Now, it's hard to tell that that's a sophomore driver in that car, because Hermie Sadler just did a tremendous job of straightening that car out. I thought it was gone, buddy.
That was 2 caution flags. It just didn't develop. I tell you, that was kind of ragged right there. But what happened there, you know, you watch these things and you say, well, he just meant to run right into him. When you're running this tight, like they do in traffic here, just 1 second, you get back in the throttle and they back off, you punch them, and it looks like you just tried to run over them. You know Houston wouldn't do that. I've watched him race too much. He's really smooth. I just think he just inadvertently got in the back of it.
It's like one of John Boy's jokes the other morning. He says, I don't ever want to find out you did that on purpose. And the guy says back, well, if I ever do it on purpose, you won't ever find out. Johnny Rumley in the 00 had that big win here last fall. Kenny Schrader in 52. The Kodiak Chevy coming right up on him as they close in on Hermie Sadler.
Yeah, you see Schrader moving in there. He's a master at using that throttle nice and easy up off the corner.
Now Sadler there is in 8th spot. Look at Elton Sawyer and Tracy Leslie and Larry Pearson.
Yeah, I think Jake Elder down there, he's the advisor. He tells him pretty much what he thinks might work, but Tony Lambert is still the crew chief on that car. But I think they've been coming along quite well since Jake went over there and started helping.
That's the Stanley Tools Chevy, number 92. There's Elton Sawyer's Ford credit card, number 38, Aiken Sutton machine. And Dennis Setzer's back in the race after a long stop to replace the radiator and tear away the front end sheet metal, what wasn't already torn away.
Amen.
Setzer's back in the race.
You know, you hear people talk about the back straightaway and front straightaway here at Hickory. Really, that's a misnomer. There is no such thing. We call that 3 and 6.
Yeah,
come off 2, then you start turning to get in the next corner in the middle of the back straightaway. So you really don't have any time to relax at all. This is a constant turn all the way around this racetrack.
Having no time to relax is going to be Robert Presley. Tommy Houston's putting the move to him. Here up front, there's Ricky Craven, David Green, running 1-2, and right with them Kenny Wallace. Then there's a gap back to that battle that was developing And Tommy Houston has gone underneath Robert Presley and taken the spot away.
Well, one person that ought to know how tight to have a race car at Hickory should be Houston. You know, that whole family, when I first started racing, I raced against Houston, and that was many years ago.
Back at the front of the field, things stayed tight, but not too tight. Ricky Craven, David Green, and Kenny Wallace. 86 of 300 laps complete. We'll be right back.
If you want to know why most NASCAR teams use a Sears Die-Hard battery, just ask a guy who didn't use a Die-Hard. Die-Hard, the official battery of NASCAR. For more power when you need it most.
If Burger King had just one customer, we'd have just one way to serve the #1 preferred burger. But since you come in more than one size, so does the Flame Broiled Whopper. Like the new Whopper Jr. with more beef than before. Or Double Whopper with more beef than you'd believe. There's a Whopper taste for any size appetite from the everyday value of 99 cents. Whopper meals from $1.99. We don't have to be the world's #1 fast food place. Just yours, and yours, and yours.
Welcome to Burger King. Can I take your order, please?
Coming to TNN Motorsports, the Goodwrench 500, the Winston Select, the Budweiser 500, the Champion Spark Plug 500, the Slick 50 300, the Splitfire Spark Plug 500, the AC Delco 500, the Slick 50 500, Winston Cup 94. Get ready.
We're back at Hickory, 93 laps complete. Good battle going on here. Randy LaJoy in the Fina Loop 20 fighting his way back up through, getting past the FTP brakes #9 of Mike Wallace. Tim Feedaway in there, Kevin LePage in the Teddy Bear car. And at the left side of the screen, Elton Sawyer in the number 38. Started 26th, he is up to 13th.
Mike, what everybody's hearing right now is like Randy LaJoy and these guys, the spotters, are saying, okay, the lead cars on the same straightaway with you, put you a lap down, so they're going to have to move along. They can't be too patient anymore.
Doug Hebron just made a pit stop, lost 2 laps. Jim Bound at 63, the Lux Beans car. And here's Kenny Wallace moving past Bobby Dotter.
You can see that camera vibrating right there. I think when he got the lick to the left front, it knocked the left front wheel way back.
Trouble, turn 4. Chris Diamond has spun. Excuse me.
That's more important than what I was saying.
No, it was just a little more immediate, not more important. Make that the 4th caution of the day. It might have had a little help. There was contact with another car up there coming out of 4. Making his Busch Series debut is the driver from Bethlehem, North Carolina. The J&L Motors car. Doug Hebron makes another pit stop, this one under caution. They're going to look at under the hood on Hebron's car. So with this 5th caution flag of the day, we'll take a break from Hickory Motor Speedway. We'll be right back.
My truck has 99,000 miles on it, and it's like a brand new engine.
America is talking about Splitfire.
I feel like I have a new engine.
No hesitation. You hit your passing gear, you're gone. Right now.
Splitfire won a United States patent. It doesn't look like any other spark plug. It doesn't work like any other spark plug.
I love them.
I have them on my motorcycle, my boat, and my car.
Love them. Love them.
Splitfire. At $5.99, America knows it only costs more till you use it.
I can say I was saving at least $3 to $4 a week.
Probably getting, I would say about 20 miles more per tank full, and that's a lot for me.
They'll pay for themselves, basically, in the first 6 months you own them.
Splitfire. It only costs more till you use it. Here's another Splitfire breakthrough. Twin-core wire sets with a dual firing path to every plug. More power and more mileage or your money back.
At Advance Auto Parts, we stock over 50,000 name brand parts for most makes of cars and trucks. Everything from spark plugs to ignition modules and half shafts. In fact, just about the only thing you can't get at Advance Auto Parts are tires. Meet the ropinest, ridingest cowboys in the world. They rope steers, they rope calves, they're headers, they're heelers. They even wrestle steers. These cowboys do it all, and they do it fast in their quest for glory and the gold buckle. The 1994 Timed Event Championship of the World. On Championship Rodeo, TNN Today.
Welcome back to Hickory. One lap and we'll go racing as Robert Presley makes a late caution pit stop. Show you why we're under yellow here. Top of the screen, turn 4.
It didn't look like he had much help there. It looked like he just got a little sideways there. That's
he and Larry Pearson.
Larry Pearson got
close.
tight here. Let's see. It didn't
Yep.
look.
Not
Maybe,
that close.
Maybe.
Ooh, close there. Kevin LePage jumps on the brakes. Everybody else slithers through.
For a better line, we'll just say you see it. You make your own opinion.
That's it. Back to green. And once again, Ricky Craven. He must have a real stump puller second gear in that car.
Very alert. He told me before the race his time, and I believe him. He's really going well.
David Green in trouble.
Oh.
The car is almost stopped on the backstretch. He's rolling very slowly. It's running.
Flat tire. I would say probably a right rear. Yeah, right rear is cut down on it. You can see it right there.
Ah, what a heartbreak for the pole sitter.
You know, we were talking during the break, and we said David Green had 3 short track poles, but he hadn't led a lap yet.
Not on a short track. Glenn?
Well, Mike, this is an awfully bad break for David Green, but there's a possibility there is something on the racetrack. Just before the cars restarted, Robert Presley brought his car in with a flat left rear, so we'll keep our eye out for cut tires. There may be debris doing that. Unusual to see him cutting them this early in the race.
14.8 second stop. 14.8 second stop, and Ricky Craven puts David Green 2 laps down.
Boy, that just tells you how fast they're getting around this racetrack. You pull in the pits and have a stop like that and then end up 2 laps down. I mean, it don't take long for it to happen here.
But Craven is waiting around for nobody. Good battle here. This year's rookie leader, Johnny Benson in the Staff America 74. Last year's Rookie of the Year, Hermie Sadler in 25.
My favorite paint job of all time. That's one I don't have any trouble seeing whatsoever.
Did a nice job with that. You can't miss it. And Benson has been steadily working on getting that car to the front.
See Kenny Schrader moving into the frame there. He's running quite well. That don't surprise me, though. One thing that a Winston Cup driver, I feel, has an insight of what the car's going to do like 100 laps into the race.
Schrader, too, biding his time, picking up spots where he finds them. He drifted back a little bit at the start of the race from 9th to about 12th or 13th, and is now moving back up toward the front. Benson and Sadler continue to battle. Schrader and Rumley back there. Doug Hebron continues to struggle.
Boy, these 2 cars have been going at it. Kenny Wallace and Houston have been door to door 2 or 3 times and leaned on each other a couple of times. They're really, really fighting it out there. This is the 5th and 6th.
And one of Houston's sons, Scott, is his crew chief. The other 2, Marty and Andy, will be in that late model race, that sportsman race later this afternoon here at Hickory.
Let me tell you, 1/3 of the fans here are Houston's in the grandstand. There's a lot of them around here.
Underneath Chad Little, who's a lap down, the Bayer Aspirin car.
Chad Little was extremely loose qualifying yesterday and had to take the provisional. He still does not have that car hooked up good to the racetrack.
And Dirk Stevens made another pit stop. Let's check with Glenn.
The guy that I was watching moving on the racetrack after they run a little while in the green is number 6, Tommy Houston. He has a setup here that the car really stays with him. It doesn't seem to go away. He was gaining on the lead 3. He now is running that same groove. Houston might be the man to watch here today. Also, Larry Pearson's car, number 92, When he won races here back in the mid-'80s, that's how he did it, coming from back in the pack. So keep your eye on those two cars.
That's right. Glenn Pearson won here in '85 and '86. Trying to get a lap back from the leader is David Green, and he's done it. He's gotten one of his 2 laps back from Ricky Craven.
That lets you know how much car he had. Now he has to go. You see how much car he had. He was just kind of riding along there because he didn't want to take a chance of knocking himself out of the race early. Now he has no choice but to try to make up those laps under the green.
And Tommy Houston has passed Kenny Wallace for 2nd place. Well, Houston's just ran up the leaderboard. There's Kenny Wallace in 3rd. And Tom Peck in the Channel Lock number 31. The Grissom Motorsports car has moved up to 4th. Now, Johnny Benson in the Staff America machine, he's the 5th place car. He's had a super run here in the early going.
He's doing a super job. I tell you one thing, you talk about Houston and everybody, a lot of people will go out here and set their car up for handling for times, you know. They want to run real fast, but the car does not feel real good. The people that really run well on when the green's out a long time are people that understand that the car is going to get loose. If it's running really fast, a lot of time, it might be on the verge of being loose.
There's Pearson battling Johnny Rumley. The car's ahead of him. Schrader and all are all on the lead lap. Pearson on the bottom. Rumley up top.
Well, that's 2 past winners there. Rumley won the last race that we had here, and Pearson won in '84 and '85 here, so they both know the way to win a circle.
And Elton Sawyer right behind them. Sawyer's Ford and Randy LaJoy. And Tracy Leslie, who had come from 30th starting spot to 12th, now has given back a couple of those spots in the Detroit Gasket Chevy.
You know, you watch this race and you see the cars go down the corner and you say, as small as this racetrack is, you must just wear the brakes out. You know, this is one of the easiest racetracks.
Trouble in 2, buddy. Diamond is around, Chris Diamond, and the field's got a split to get away from him, and Green will stay out. No caution. You were saying?
I'm afraid every time I say anything, something happens. I'm going to be a little quieter here.
Well, don't stop.
Woo. No,
You're saying this place is easy on brakes?
Yeah, it is. You really don't use the amount of brakes that you think you would because you're in the corner most of the time, so you really don't have that much straightaway to use the brake up on. Like Martinsville, it's a drag strip with 2 corners on it.
Here's a battle for 4th as Tom Peck comes up under Kenny Wallace. Johnny Benson looking in.
His car is lean. I got stiffer springs in my bed at home and they run in these things for Ricker. You do anything you can to get the side bite off the corner and forward bite. That's the main thing you're looking for. You don't care what spring it is as long as it works.
I'll move around Mike Wallace. His car has kind of suddenly dropped off the pace.
You see Kenny Wallace there. He was sideways getting up off the corner too. Right now, when you're talking to the crew on the radio, you're going, man, I'd give $1,000 for 2 rounds of bite. And to bring it in here, it's more than we're going to make if you keep running loose like that.
129 laps to go. We're 20 laps from halfway. Spin in the backstretch. Diamond again.
Boy, he got that down pat, hasn't he?
Robert Presley comes to pit road under Green. This will knock another of the top contenders off the lead lap.
Well, he got her fired again, back in action, and no caution.
Tough break for Presley. They needed a caution.
Now, that's about as bad a thing as you can have go out there. That's like a flat tire. When that mirror falls off and you can't tell who's behind you or when to move for the faster cars and all, that makes this racetrack extremely tough.
Look at the hood. It's bouncing up and down in this field of vision as well.
I think he's aced me out. I broke about everything, but I've never had a mirror to break off. See Tom Peck here moving up. I tell you, that car is really hooked up, and I think with Steve being here and helping him with the chassis and all this morning as an advisor, I think that's going to help him.
Robert Presley's made that stop on pit. There's 34, Mike McLaughlin. Now, he got fresh tires at lap 98 under yellow, and he's battled back up to 12th spot. And look at Presley on fresh tires. Let's get a comment on Robert's stop. Here's Glenn.
Well, Mike, he came in that time for right sides only. Remember, I said he ducked in under that caution period and changed left sides when it was flat. Well, they mismatched the tires, so he kept telling the crew that it messed the handling up on the car. He needed right side tires. They brought him in and put him on him under the green. He lost a little time, but boy, he likes the way it drives now.
Now you'll see Presley slicing his way back up through now. He is 2 laps down.
You know what you were just talking about, Mike? There's 2 kinds of tires, but there's no tire like a new tire. Believe you me, that's the most important thing on short track. You get new tires, look like you have 4 motors in that car. Look how he's going by Pearson. Pearson's running super good. He's just driving by everybody.
And you can bet they're telling some of these drivers on the 2A radios, look, he's 2 laps down, let him go. Let him go burn those tires up.
Yeah, because what he's doing running that hard right now, he's using up tires he needs later.
Here's the leader in heavy traffic, Robbie Reiser on the inside of the 17. Stevie Reeves just ahead. Reeves said until he got in this Busch car, he had never driven anything heavier than 1,500 pounds.
I see David Green behind Craven again.
Well, there was a spin car. Mike McLaughlin turned 2, and we get a caution.
Again.
Oh, and again, Stevie Reeves is in one. Oh, the caution had already come out for Mike McLaughlin's spin on the back straightaway. 6th caution of the day, 5th caution of the day. We had about 8 they didn't throw the flag for her.
I don't think we'll make the record here. They had one time that the racetrack tore up a little bit, and I think what they have, 10 laps under green?
I think so. At least at a time. 10 at a time. So caution is out once again for Mike McLaughlin's spin in the back straightaway in the fiddle-faddle Chevy. Kenny Wallace comes to the pits in the Phil Martossi car. And they'll put right sides on Kenny. And they'll put tires on Hermie Sadler's car. Jim Bound is also in. And there's Sadler's car.
Mike, this will change things around quite a bit right here. You're going to have a lot of cars on fresh rubber, and now they'll look like everybody else has stopped. When they go back out, they'll pass them inside, outside, any way they want to.
Glenn, what is the tire rule for the day? How many are they allowed during caution or during the race?
Well, Mike, just like on the normal short tracks, you get 1 tire per position under caution. Kenny Wallace just used his up. His car had stayed under him. Hermie Sadler came in, got tires. The handle had gone away. Jim Bound, we commented, he came in. He's had problems all day, so they made a chassis adjustment as well as changing tires on his car. But the rule is 1 tire per position under caution. So if Wallace changes any more tires, he'll do so under green or under penalty.
Thanks, Glenn. 141 laps down. They're watching us from all around the nation today, including at the Simpson Bay Yacht Club on the shores of Lake Norman. We'll be right back.
Want to learn how to catch the big bass like Roland Martin? Then watch his show on TNN Outdoors. You could also win the TNN Outdoors Fish America Sweepstakes. The grand prize is a complete fishing rig and an Alaskan fishing adventure. Watch Fishing with Roland Martin.
Get ready! DeSoto Speedway, the South's fastest short track. DeSoto Speedway, the South's fastest short track, has something for you every Saturday night. And it's awesome. Late model sportsman, open wheel modified, straight stock, modified minis, pure stock minis, and a limited schedule of pro figure 8. Always free parking and great food at DeSoto Speedway.
Don't miss Saturday, March 26th for DeSoto Thunder, featuring super late models and twin 50s at DeSoto Speedway.
Bob Smith, that's right. How's it going, Tiger? Long time no see.
Pretty good, Bill.
Well, it must be. I saw you pull up in that new car. Did you just buy it?
No, I leased it.
Leased it? You must be in the chips.
Anyone can lease at Bill Graham Ford. Luxurious 94 Ford Tauruses are just $277 a month with only $2,500 down.
What do you do for a living?
I sell insurance.
Nice talking to you, Bob.
You get more for lease at Bill Graham Ford in Bradenton.
Health insurance.
Getting set to go back to green as the cars try to line up and get their restart position. Mike McLaughlin, David Green, and Robert Presley there in the high line. Ricky Craven is still the leader. Tommy Houston, Tom Peck, Ken Schrader, and Elton Sawyer, the top 5. Here's why we're under caution. David Green got into the back of Chris Diamond and sent him spinning. Back to green. And Johnny Rumley comes out of the pits right in front of the leaders, and David Green almost gets up toward the fence. Well, Rumley wants a lap back. He's going to get it. Remember, he's on fresh tires. Craven has yet to make a pit stop.
I'm interested to see what Tommy Houston has for Craven when they run a long green flag run.
Look at this bunch. They were 3 wide in the back straightaway as Kenny Schrader took advantage in traffic. Looked like David Green kind of bobbled coming out of turn 2, and Schrader went right for the throat, right down the middle, and then right underneath to take over 3rd place.
Woohoo, 3 deep. That's pretty hard to do here at Hickory.
For long.
For long? Not for long, is what you mean.
Yes. Craven's the leader. Tommy Houston has popped out of this pack in 2nd. Tight battle.
See several cars getting loose there. What happens there is one picks up the throttle, the other one backs off, and you have to do something and try to miss the car in front of you.
And it's like you've said. On new tires, everybody suddenly thinks they're Superman.
Yeah, it don't take long to face reality, though. About 20 laps, and you say, uh-oh, I used them up.
That's Tom Peck on the outside in 31. Elton Sawyer battling him. David Green was trying to get a lap back. Didn't happen. Mike Wallace on the bottom. Still keeps trying lower and lower. Ooh, he's down there. And he made room. Tom Peck had to get out of the throttle or get in the fence. 99, Presley moving up. He's 2 laps down. Here's your Stanley mid-race recap brought to you by Stanley Tool Works. For over 150 years making quality products to help improve your home. 1 leader. That's not much of a recap, but Ricky Craven has pretty well owned this race so far. 5 caution flags for 26 laps. Tommy Ellis is the only car on the trailer. 15 cars are on the lead lap. Johnny Benson dives under Tom Peck. Benson has been really impressive today.
See Tommy Houston trying to get under McLaughlin there. I believe he's as fast as Craven. He just can't get himself in position to race with him. He closes in anytime he gets ready to. But right now he's got McLaughlin to work with, and until he gets a clear racetrack, it's going to be really hard to catch Craven.
Chad Little comes to pit road in the Harris Teeter Ford. Well, Houston's going to make the move work this time.
Perhaps. That's 2 of the best on short track right there, racing side by side. And I don't think either of them is going to give until one makes a mistake.
And look at this. Coming into the corner. Behind that group, Kenny Schrader has his hands full with Elton Sawyer on the bottom. Sawyer's going to get that 4th place back. Make that 3rd. 3rd place for Sawyer, kicks Schrader back to 4th. Here comes David Green. Randy LaJoy is there. And so is Kenny Wallace. And Johnny Benson.
I'll tell you one thing. If Schrader's got any advantage in traffic over these boys, he's going to have to use it pretty quick here.
Jason Keller has parked his car along pit road. Spin, Tom Peck, turn 3, and riser.
Larry Pearson got up the middle of that, too.
Yep, Dirk Stevens has to go around. What's it called? Tim Fedua.
Whoa!
Mike Wallace.
Man.
Comes into Tim Fedua. Oh, Fedua had the wrong gear. He had first, needed reverse right there, did a little more damage. Bell Atlantic Mobile and Race Scan sponsoring Fedua today. Oh. Car number 9, Mike Wallace, was trying to make up a lap, and he got into Tommy Houston as well.
Well, I guarantee you his spotter will catch some hard time over that one.
Yep. Tough break there. We're just past halfway. 159 laps are complete. Craven and Houston battle back to the line. Craven leading. I'll tell you, for Easter eggs, some of these cars look a lot like Humpty Dumpty after he fell off the wall. Glenn?
As far as the cars that we've seen pit are guys that have been having trouble keeping up. The 2 car, the 6 car haven't pitted yet. Nobody can catch them, even though they're on used tires. When they do come in, whenever it is, they're going to have that much pressure tires at the end of the race. So those guys are going to stay out there just as long as they possibly can. Right now, no reason for them to pit. Nobody can catch them and pass them.
There's a look at Houston, and you're right, Glenn. And look at Ricky Craven's car. I think the reason he's leading the Easter parade is he has more colors on his egg than anybody else. Well, that's only one reason.
Yeah,
it's not a good reason. We asked Tommy Houston about Hickory Motor Speedway, where he spent a lot of his career.
This track's got a groove to it. A lot of people don't like it, and it's tough to get around. I would say it's probably the toughest racetrack on the Busch Grand National Circuit today to try and get around. And a lot of people come here and absolutely they hate it.
Gentlemen, start your engine.
Ball of fire! You shake my nerves and you rattle my brain. But your love drives a man insane. You broke my will, what a thrill. Doesn't this raise a great ball of fire?
You could win a trip to the Fast Track Driving School with Bosch Platinum Plugs.
You got the winning color. Make your engine last longer. Change your oil every 3,000 miles and use the newest Pennzoil. Now with the revolutionary Pennstar molecule, Pennzoil works like liquid ball bearings. Clings in, on, around, and between moving parts to reduce heat, friction, and wear.
My car's got 295,000 miles on it.
Has 161,000 miles.
314,000. 173,000.
Pennzoil has always stood by me. It's never failed me.
You got the winning color.
The Honda V4 Magna. Nothing's meaner. And right now, nothing's hotter during Honda's red-hot deal days at your participating Honda dealer. But hurry, it ends April 30th.
If you're looking for a reliable place for your car or truck, I've got news for you.
Now at Pep Boys, $10 rebate on all Futura, Michelin, and Uniroyal tires in stock.
Come to Pep Boys and drive away happy.
I don't need some fancy cologne to tell me I'm a man. I use Skin Bracer. It smells great, but it also cools and tones my skin. Confidence is very sexy, don't you think?
Skin Bracer Aftershave.
By Menon.
Welcome back to Hickory Motor Speedway. I'm Mike Joy with Buddy Baker and Glenn Jarrett. Today's TNN Live coverage. Hope you're enjoying the Easter Parade. It has Ricky Craven out in front, Tommy Houston in second, Randy LaJoyce fought his way up to third, and Johnny Benson to fourth. There are 13 cars on the lead lap. Kenny Wallace is fifth. Sixth is Hermie Sadler. Seventh, Johnny Rumley. Back in eighth is Tracy Leslie, who started last in this race. Good run for him. Ninth place car is Kenny Schrader. 10th is Tom Peck. 11th, Elton Sawyer. 12th is Kevin LePage, best run for the Vermont driver. And 13th is Jim Bound, who's a former front row sitter here. Larry Pearson, numerous pit stops to correct damage.
It used to be alumina, now it's just a law.
And now it's just a loo,
knocked the rest off. I tell you, Glenn Jarrett just said this is the ugliest field I've ever said, and I just wonder, Glenn, have you had a tetanus this year?
Well, I haven't yet, buddy, but before I get around any of these cars, I'm going to. As you said, Mike, Larry Pearson just made another pit stop. Most of the damage appears to be cosmetic. They had the rubber straps out, the bungee straps. We're getting a caution again, so we're going to have at least one more lap before we go to caution. But I'm telling you, they have really torn some race cars up here, and we're only halfway.
Right. Let's show you why we're under this caution, Glenn. They're going to get one more lap to sort out the restart order. Some cars on the lead lap were trying to get in line. There is. Now watch the 9 car coming from the right side of your screen to get a lap back from the leaders.
See, he's not in sight yet.
Because they do race back to the flag, and he caught Tommy Houston. Oof.
Okay, I think what happened there, the spotter might have said the middle part of the racetrack's open, come on, come on. And when you get there, all of a sudden, everybody's moving back towards the pits to go fix the car. So you get in trouble doing that a lot of times with spotter.
There's a little bit of damage on Mike Wallace's car. Tommy Houston's car, let's hope it didn't knock the toe out on Houston's car when he caught him in the right front. We are back to green.
One thing about wrecking on this smaller track, the aerodynamics is not as important as they are on some of the racetracks where you run a lot faster, but it really don't help a car to hit the front end like that.
Here comes Robert Presley to get a lap back from Ricky Craven, and he does. That puts him 1 lap down.
Randy LaJoy running there in fourth spot right now. Just a minute ago, he's fixing to go a lap down.
Tommy Houston holds on to second. Looks like the handling was not hurt on that car. And at turn 4, Larry Pearson and Robbie Reiser get together. And that'll take the rest of the sheet metal off the left front of Pearson's car. No caution. We stay green.
Anytime there's contact like that, there's a chance that a piece of metal or anything can fall off.
The starter was looking right at it. He waved okay to the tower.
They're back into it again.
Oh, Pearson. Pearson just shoved Reiser down the length of the racetrack. Back up front. Tommy Houston looking over Ricky Craven. And to the pits, Larry Pearson. Tracy Leslie got loose up in 4. He's okay now.
As you say, they're doing it all over the racetrack right now. I'm telling you, every car here has been sideways at least 3 times in the last 5 laps.
Except Ricky Craven.
Yeah, they got to catch him to get him sideways.
David Green's going to get a lap back from him now. Remember, Craven has not yet changed tires.
I'm just wondering if 44 might be in the same lap now. Yes, he is, as a matter of fact. That's what good, hard driving does. Now, once he gets out in front, there's no point in trying to run that lap up. There'll be another caution. They'll bring him right back up behind the lead cars.
That's what Robert Presley's hoping as well. Presley's now back on the tail end of the lead lap. Kenny Wallace and Johnny Benson coming past the leader. Boy, Craven's car is slowed up, buddy.
Well, he hadn't really slowed up. Other people on fresher tires. And I tell you, right now, he's paying the price for not stopping that last pit stop.
The new leader is Johnny Benson. Bill Bumgarner, Staff America Chevy, number 74. Benson, the ASA champion of 1 year ago. He is the leading rookie, and he is now leading this race.
You see Hermie there underneath. I tell you, it looks to me like Ricky Craven's car is totally given up in the corners. Everybody's passing him on the outside. I don't know whether it's a motor problem or whether the handling's gone away that much, but if it's handling, he's in serious trouble if they run a long green stop here.
Buddy, we may be mistaken. Scoreboards carrying Kenny Wallace as the leader. He went past Craven just before Benson did. Trouble in 2. Mike McLaughlin spins down the racetrack. And how did they miss him? Houston's car almost stopped, but he got going again. That will be a caution flag. So my mistake. It's Kenny Wallace who is the race leader. Benson in second. And Hermie Sadler on the way to the caution flag past Benson. So put Sadler up into second spot.
I tell you the truth, to follow everything that's going on this racetrack, you need a third eye. I was watching the front straightaway here. 2 cars were running side by side, and I'm going to start watching the monitor a little more closely.
Benson led lap 174, and then Kenny Wallace got past him. And now here are Craven, LaJoy, Schrader, and Houston. Kevin LePage, Tracy Leslie, and Mike McLaughlin on pit road.
Talking about Houston, he has some pretty bad damage to the right side of Houston's car there.
Here's Glenn.
Craven's pit, and he's finally, I think these are the last of the cars that have not pitted. Ken Schrader is going by him. They're having some trouble with Schrader, with Craven. They only changed the right side tires, so he will have to come back in and get left sides, as I believe Schrader will. A lot of them elect to change only 2 tires per time because with the short racetrack, it's hard to get them all 4 changed, even under caution, without losing a lap. I think you're going to see number 2 and number 52 back in next time, guys.
Thanks, Glenn. First pit stop of the day for both those cars. Tommy Houston was in. Let's give a call to Kevin LePage, the Vermont Teddy Bear car. He's on the lead lap here, and that is no mean feat, but Hickory is a lot like some of the tracks that he raced on the NASCAR North Tour, and it's his best showing to date.
And one of the few you can read the sponsor on the quarter panel. The rest of them pretty well we've knocked them off.
Yeah, it's still there. It hasn't taken it. No, that's a bad pun. We said no puns today, and we meant it. Well, I'm going to go find some eggs. We'll be right back.
It was 8 o'clock in there, right? Yeah. My truck wouldn't start. And the lights worked, but the engine wouldn't turn over. So I figured it must be the starter, right? Well, I went to AutoZone. They said, let's test it. Turns out it was okay. So we tested my battery and found that it just didn't have enough juice to crank it. Now get this. I didn't have to spend a dime, because they even charged my battery for free. Get out of here. That kind of service? Hey, you just can't beat it.
Peerless Faucet didn't come up with the idea for a spout long and high enough to reach over and into large objects. We merely adapted it for the kitchen. High-rise faucet designs by Peerless. Get more out of your faucet than just water.
This week on NHRA Today, we'll bring you the installation ceremonies of the International Drag Racing Hall of Fame. Join us for this very special event.
NHRA Today, Saturdays and Sundays only on TNN Motorsports. This spring, TNN Outdoors is going fishing. On Fishing with Orlando Wilson, Orlando battles giant bass and wild-eyed walleye. On Fishing with Roland Martin, catch it all. From bonefish to crappie as Roland covers America's very best spots. On Bassmasters, Ray Scott highlights the action from top Bassmaster tournaments all over America. And on the Great American Outdoors, Ron Shearer wets his hook for both fresh and saltwater fishing. Springtime's here, tonight on TNN Outdoors.
Transportation provided by Cedar Ridge RV Center, Branchville, New Jersey. Call 1-800-988-4884 and find out why Cedar Ridge is the choice of champions.
Work continues on Dennis Setzer's car. Not much left to the front end of that one. New radiator installed. Tommy Houston, Jim Bound, and Larry Pearson are all in. And here was the caution. Randy LaJoie's car had been backing up. Oh, that's right. He hit the brakes for the spot Mike McLaughlin car.
Had already happened in front of him. He slowed up, and it's chain reaction on these short tracks. It's hard to get slowed up. That's how close you can come to wrecking and not right there.
That's it. LaJoie back in. Glenn Jarrett's been up and down the pits as Larry Pearson comes in one more time. Here's Glenn.
Well, Mike, I'm with Scott Houston, the crew chief on his father Tommy's car. Scott, a little damage to the right side. Did you get everything straightened out?
Yeah, I think so. It just crumbled up. We just have to clear it off the tires.
The car looked like it was awfully good, particularly under long green flag runs.
Yeah, it was loose at the start, and then like a good race car should do, it tightened itself back up, and we hadn't changed anything, put tires on it. Happy trails.
Well, that is a good race car. Also, to update on what happened to Schrader, guys, I missed him. He had already been in and put on one set of tires, 2 tires at one time, so he only had 2 more tires under caution he could change, so he's used all his 4. Craven did all of his on the last caution, or excuse me, on this caution flag. So as far as we know, everybody that's running for the lead now has used all their allotment of tires that they can change under caution.
Thanks, Glenn. Kenny Wallace is the leader. Hermie Sadler is second. Johnny Benson is third. Johnny Rumley is fourth. 5th is Tom Peck. 6th, Elton Sawyer. 7th, Robert Presley. 8th is Kevin LePage. 9th is Ricky Craven. 10th is Kenny Schrader. As we go back to green, 11th is Tommy Houston. And 12th is Randy LaJoie, or Jim Bound and then Randy LaJoie. Those 13 cars are on the lead lap unofficially.
The Hermie Sadler fighting it out there with the 9 car of Wallace. That's a sandwich right there of 2 brothers on either end of Hermie Sadler.
Mike Wallace is laps down with the number 9 car. 188 laps complete, 112 to go. As the field sorts itself out after this restart from the 7th caution flag of the day.
Look at Green's car. Boy, is that car ever able to stay on the bottom of the racetrack. Right there, though, he just about wiped our dog camera right off the left side of Dodder. Woo, is that a pretty thing or what?
It was.
That's how my nightmares start right there. There's a good idea of how much straightaway is on the racetrack. You can see the car. It was in a turn all the way down the back straightaway there. That's on the front straightaway.
Johnny Benson has cleared Mike Wallace, and now so does Johnny Rumley, the 4th place car. Kenny Wallace leads this race in a Ford. And in 35 Busch Series events at Hickory, a Ford has never been to victory lane.
One thing about racing, there's a first for everything if you stay long enough. Right. And I tell you what, if there's one that's going to get in there, it'd be the Wallace car today, because it is really running well. Teddy Bear got a little high there, but he's back under control.
Yeah.
He got a little help getting in the corner there. Nobody's seen it but me, but I just brought it out anyhow.
Okay. Here's a look at Ricky Craven. He is ahead of Kenny Schrader, as he was at the restart. Now moving up on Tracy Leslie. And going to be slow going through this traffic.
Yeah, but Craven said, man, I didn't know tires were going to be this wonderful.
Trouble on Elton Sawyer. Aiken Sutton, number 38, he's going to come to pit road. He was on the lead lap. In fact, he was the 7th place car. He's coasting in very slowly. Now he's going to park it.
Seen a little contact there between Kenny Schrader and the 96 car.
Stevie Reeves. Well, they're both open wheel drivers.
He got it right back. Thank you very much.
And Schrader's in trouble.
I think Schrader might have cut a tire down.
Yep, he's headed for the pit. And another of the lead lap cars comes in.
A lot of damage to the right front there. He cut the right front down when he got into the Clabber Girl Special there a second ago.
Tough break for Schrader. He was a contender. But now he'll go at least a lap and maybe 2 laps down, pitting under green.
Look at Hermie Sadler moving in on Wallace here. Every time I pick a new champion out here, somebody gets after him, and Hermie Sadler right now looks like he might be the fastest car out there.
They are about a third of a lap ahead of Ricky Craven as Elton Sawyer climbs out of his car, walks away, finished for the afternoon. 100 laps to go at Hickory Motor Speedway. Kenny Wallace leading Hermie Sadler.
If you want to know why most NASCAR teams use a Sears Die-Hard battery, just ask a guy who didn't use a Die-Hard. Die-Hard, the official battery of NASCAR. For more power when you need it most.
Robert, we're ready.
Okay. Got it warmed up?
Yeah.
Before a Robert Yates engine makes it to the track, it's torture tested right here.
Well, let's do it.
And there's only one motor oil Yates relies on for complete protection. Haviland Formula 3. The same Haviland Formula 3 you can buy right off the shelf.
215 degrees, 8,700.
That's race ready. Haviland Formula 3 motor oil from Texaco.
It's running like a winner.
That'll get the job done.
A champion Spark Plug 300 is coming to Charlotte Motor Speedway Saturday, May 28th. And if you act now, you can be one of only 8,000 to buy a ticket and get a car. What? That's right. Buy a ticket, get a car. Charlotte Motor Speedway has commissioned racing champions to produce this first in a series of backstretch ticket collectibles. At only $15, this $25 ticket collector car combo will move in record time. So call for yours today.
Diet Dr. Pepper, the taste you've been looking for.
We're back at Hickory Motor Speedway. Here are the leaders, Kenny Wallace and Hermie Sadler. And coming up, you'll see the battle behind them as we're up in turn number 3. Third place is at stake. Johnny Benson holds off Tom Peck by using Chris Diamond as a pick.
That's exactly what happened. They run about 7 or 8 laps side by side, and then they run up on the slower car there, and Peck had to back out the throttle, but he'll be right back up there. That car is working super good.
He was right underneath Johnny Benson and looked as if he was going to complete the pass, and then the lap car came into play.
Your pick.
Well, it is Final Four weekend.
Final Four, okay.
Call a basketball move, I guess. 3 leaders to this race so far: Craven, Benson, and Wallace.
Ricky Craven playing this ball game right now about like Duke did last night when he was 13 points behind. He's really flying up through traffic right now. Might be the fastest car on the racetrack, but he's got so much traffic, he's really got to be careful.
What he needs is a caution flag, and needs for it to be somebody else.
Yeah, not him. One thing about Hickory, if it was caution, you might be it just in a second.
There's Craven moving under Mike McLaughlin, and you get an idea of the separation from the lead car.
That's what fresh tires do also. You see how much lower he can run in the corner now and get back in the throttle. Watch him pull away right here.
Still, Craven lacks a third of a lap to the race leader, Kenny Wallace. 85 laps to go. All these drivers have made their stop for tires. Now it's a question of who can wear out who and where the caution flags might fall. Craven trails by a third of a lap. That's 5.1 seconds behind the leader. I wondered, buddy, why perhaps they didn't stop right at the halfway mark at lap 156 instead of waiting till lap 180 and have less time to deal with more traffic.
That's a good question, but I'm going to tell you, under the green, you don't want to stop here. And,
no.
You know, at halfway, I would rather have, if you can keep up, like the lead car's been able to do all day today, you want to save your best to the very last and then come in and get it with a chance to win then.
Tom Peck and Johnny Benson are right back at it. This is third place, folks, and this is as good as it gets right here.
Well, they make me look pretty smart. I said this would come back into play. Now, if they just don't run up on a slow car, the better car will get the position.
Let's go to Glenn.
Mike, we watched Eldon Sawyer climb from his car. He had moved from 26 to 3rd at one time. Eldon just braked. What happened?
Well, I'm not real sure, Glenn. You know, Hickory's a real tight racetrack, and we're running bumper to bumper. Evidently, we just didn't get enough air in the front of the car, and it ran hot and lost the cylinder. But, hey, my hat's off to my guys. They did a heck of a job. We started in the back. The car worked excellent all day, and I thought we would be a contender. But, hey, next week at Bristol.
He runs that racetrack awfully well. He'll be tough. This team is really coming together.
Robert Presley and Tracy Leslie in a 72. Got kind of close there, trying to lap Mike McLaughlin, whose car is well up to speed. Leslie is a little frustrated here, trying to find a way past Mikey.
Oh, boy, I tell you what. That's when you lose your cool in a hurry, because you're doing everything you can to make the car get around fast, and then you have your line taken away from you. You get a little anxious for him to get out of the way.
And behind Tracy Leslie, quite a pack of cars, including Robert Presley and Tommy Houston and Randy LaJoy. Tom Peck has moved away from that pack. He's taken David Green with him, and he's now 3.7 seconds back of the leader.
See, David Green, he was 2 laps down at one time, and now he's fighting for third place rather.
And Green is going to go on past Tom Peck. And right side of your screen, here's Craven underneath Johnny Benson. And Craven is now within 4.8 seconds of the leader, and he's picked up a position on the racetrack. He's up to 5th. Well, does he have enough time? That's the question with 74 laps to go.
You know, you often wonder what if he'd have took on left side tires a while ago, just where would he be right now, too? But it was a good strategy just to take on right, but he made a quicker stop, track positions, everything here.
He's moving up on Tom Peck. There's Tommy Houston in the number 6. Johnson Financial Services car.
Something's happened to Wallace's car.
He's off the pace, and he's lost the lead. Hermie Sadler's up front. The TIC Financial Ford in trouble in the back straightaway. Staying out on the racetrack.
Looks like he might have a valve or something gone. I hear it when it come by, it was missing pretty bad. That's a shame. I tell you, that car flies every week. Durability, he's had some engines go bad on him this year.
And it was a bad time for Craven to come up on him because Tom Peck used Wallace as a moving chicane to keep Ricky Craven back there.
Yeah, he dropped the valve. You can hear it when it comes by here. It sounds like a truck motor.
3rd place.
That won't take long. Craven's on fresher tires. He'll go right on by.
Ricky Craven now within sight of the race leader. There's Hermie Sadler, 3.8 seconds ahead. And he's overlapped Kevin LePage, so LePage goes 12th, 1 lap down. And it looks like the Ford losing streak here continues. They've never won in 35 races. Kenny Wallace was their best chance today.
I see Hermie Sadler running there in the lead, but in the same corner with him is David Green. He's made up almost 3/4 of the lap on Hermie Sadler. I think he's a little bit faster than Hermie getting into the corners here.
Let's find out what happened to Kenny Wallace. Here's Glenn.
You're looking at a very disgusted Gil Martin, the crew chief. And Gil, what happened here?
It seems like we've got some sort of an ignition problem. They changed ignition boxes and the car seems to work a little bit better, but it's missing right now. I don't know what's wrong.
Will you be able to do anything about it?
Well, I don't know. If we get a caution, we'll come in and look at it, but it acts like we've either lost an alternator or something like that.
Right now, they're just going to have to ride it out, guys.
Tough break for Kenny Wallace. Hermie Sadler leads David Green by about 15 car lengths. Ricky Craven is now in the same straightaway as the leader in 3rd place. Tom Peck occupies the 4th position with 10 cars now on the lead lap. We'll be right back.
Want to learn how to catch the big bass like Roland Martin? Then watch his show on TNN Outdoors. You could also win the TNN Outdoors Fish America Sweepstakes. The grand prize is a complete fishing rig and an Alaskan fishing adventure. Watch Fishing with Roland Martin.
Get ready!
DeSoto Speedway, the South's fastest short track.
DeSoto Speedway, the South's fastest short track, has something for you every Saturday night. And it's awesome. Late model sportsman, open wheel modified, straight stocks, modified minis, your stock minis, and a limited schedule of pro figure eights. Always free parking and great food at DeSoto Speedway.
Don't miss Saturday, March 26th for DeSoto Thunder, featuring super late models and twin 50s at DeSoto Speedway.
1994 is here, and Honda goes far beyond it. Accord, designed from the ground up like no Honda to date. The body, stylish, aerodynamically efficient, completely new. The interior, quiet, spacious, feature-filled. The engine, powerful, smooth, fuel-efficient, exceptional handling, dual airbags. Ahead of its time, the 1994 Accord is here. See it now at Honda Cars of Bradenton.
58 laps to go at Hickory Motor Speedway. David Green is eating up Hermie Sadler. Sadler, when we went to break, was about 12 car lengths in front. He is now just barely in front of Green, and Ricky Craven's only 3 seconds behind them.
Mike, you're both coming off the corner about the same, but this car of Green's is sticking right on the bottom of the racetrack. He won't have much trouble getting by, I don't think.
Now, as they battle side by side, that'll help Craven in his quest to come to the front.
There's your pick you were talking about.
Yep. There's Ricky Craven underneath fellow New Englander Kevin LePage.
You know, it don't matter how many laps you have to run. When it comes down to the nitty-gritty, you always have 3 or 4 cars that battle like crazy for the win every week. That's what I love about Busch Grand National Racing. I don't think there's more competitive racing in the world than right here.
Could be true. But Green is there.
Watch him drive right up under him, getting in the corner there. If they can just run under Green without running up on a slow car, I think he'll get by Hermie.
Sadler had to give him room.
Ooh,
they got close.
Contact there. Seems that Hermie goes through 1 and 2 about the same as Green, but when they get a little rub job there,
almost a slide job. David Green's last win, Lanier Raceway, Gainesville, Georgia, 1991, 55 races ago. Back in 6th place, Randy LaJoie and Johnny Benson battle. Next time by, 50 laps to go. Tim Fedor comes to pit road.
Boy, Ricky Craven, we're going to get back to that in a second. This is a great race right here, but Ricky Craven's caught Hermie Sadler right now, and I believe that he's fixing to go right on by. This car is a rocket ship right at this point in the race.
Craven has the freshest tires of anybody, and it appears that his strategy of waiting till lap 180 to put on those tires is paying off.
Yeah, well, you asked the question, and that's the whole idea, is to stay in there with the better tire right near the end of the race. He's closing in on green. You can see they're both in the picture frame here right now.
He's past Hermie Sadler. And there's Kenny Wallace going a lap down. Robbie Reiser. And as David Green moves on the outside of Mike Wallace, Craven is there. He just ate up 4 car lengths in one straightaway.
Very impressive. I tell you, new tires here or fresher tires, even if they're only 10 laps better, it just makes a tremendous amount of difference. And the other thing that's working on them is the spotter's calling and telling him what the 2 cars doing. And he's looking in the mirror, and he's running as hard as he can run without running over his own tongue. And they're telling him, okay, if you got anything left, go ahead and use it. And he's running hard as he can go right now. Just fresher tires are the story right now.
46 laps to go. Kirk Stevens down to the inside. That is the battle for the lead. Well, catching him is one thing. Passing him might be another. And Kenny Wallace, after being overlapped, has gone behind the wall. Now, Wallace was the second-place point man coming into this race.
Now, David Green can make him do that every lap. Ricky Craven will really use his tires up, trying to pass on the outside. The real place to pass here and not use up a lot of tires on the bottom part of the racetrack. He keeps running in and running up high like that. He's going to scrub that right front down to where it makes the 2 cars pretty even.
But Green is not, look at him, he's not giving Craven anything of the bottom. He's really protecting that bottom.
Well, you got to know how to win, believe me. Everybody says he lucked into a race. Nobody lucks into a race unless it was a 40-car pileup and you're the only one that gets through. That's luck. The rest of the way, you kind of earn what you do on a racetrack.
There's Randy LaJoie up against Tommy Houston. Both these cars on the lead lap. And this should be for about 5th place.
Mike, Tommy Houston hadn't run well since he got that lick on the right rear side of that race car. He hadn't been as dominant as he was before that little accident.
And LaJoie dives down underneath and washes up the racetrack a bit to clear Houston. Now Craven's, he's kind of breathing the car now, it looks like, buddy. He's just not pressuring David Green as hard.
You see where he's at on the racetrack? He is washing up now. That car may have developed a little bit of push in the corner, which will really hurt you here. I noticed he was scrubbing that right front pretty hard.
38 laps to go at Hickory Motor Speedway. Let's take this break and come right back to this battle for the lead.
In New Britain, Connecticut, people know how to make a home worth more.
The Hummels are doing a new deck.
Because New Britain is also the home of Stanley.
Frank is redoing his roof.
And nobody has more innovative ways to make a house more livable.
Liz is redoing her bathroom.
Or more valuable.
And the Sandelskis are redoing everything.
Ever wish you had a better house?
So, Arnold.
Why not get started on the one you've got?
What are we doing?
We should have gotten a pizza.
$1 gets you unlimited toppings at Little Caesars. Now buy 2 pepperoni pizzas for $8.99 and get unlimited toppings for $1. And for $1 more, collect 2 cups from Disney's new Mighty Ducks movie.
Pizza, pizza.
If you really want to travel for less, bum a ride to Suzuki's Truly Movin' Dealin' Days. Where you can get a great new Suzuki motorcycle for 0 down or low down with low monthly payments. So get to your Suzuki dealer any way you can.
It's time to catch spring fever at Napa, the place more people rely on to keep their vehicles running and to help them save. Get easy-to-use no-touch tire care. Buy one for $2.99 and get the second one free. Valvoline oil is just 94 cents a quart. Spring is the perfect time for this handy 8-piece cooler combo, just $18.99. So spring into your nearest Napa Auto Parts store today and catch the fever.
Today's exclusive coverage of the SunDrop 400 on TNN is brought to you by Napa. We keep America running.
New leader here at Hickory Motor Speedway, and here he is, Ricky Craven. He's gotten past David Green.
Well, Mike, he made a move while we were away at commercial there. He made a move on the 44 car that was just absolutely splendid. He fell back, let the tires cool down. He caught him in a situation trying to pass Robert Presley and got underneath both of them. And this Adios and the Lone Ranger rides again right now.
Well, it was a great move on Craven's part of taking advantage of a developing situation. David Green was underneath Presley to lap him. Both those cars carried up the racetrack just enough in turn one for Craven to get underneath, and he took the lead. Randy LaJoie underneath Hermie Sadler. This is for third place. Whoa, the pick moved.
I'm telling you, Hermie's tires are about gone, though. He's dropping back a little bit. Randy LaJoie is moving up in the field real nice right now. You know, this thing isn't over yet. I'm noticing David Green's moving back in again. It might be that the two car might be pushing just a little bit in the corner, and he's right front up. We have a spin up here.
Chad Little in turn 4, and he catches the left front of Tom Peck, and Kevin LePage piles in. Something happened to LePage. 8th caution of the day. LePage was 11th. 1 lap down and doing a terrific job. And piled in. And now the teddy bear has lost its eyes and nose and gets to go to the teddy bear hospital.
No, you said you wasn't going to do that. Also broke the Panhard bar on the 23 car, Chad Little there. I noticed the back end was jumping around. They got some major repairs to do. Tom Peck's left front's down. When they have an incident here, it's not a single car ever.
No.
It don't seem like.
No, Peck will come to the pits. And,
teddy bear now looking at you, head, face to face.
Teddy bear hospital time. Kevin LePage had the best run of his season going. He was in 11th place. See what happened here. Watch Chad Little, the black and yellow cars. Robbie Reiser slides up.
Okay. What happened there, 17 car, and LaJoie got very close, and it looked like they might have slammed the brakes on the 23 car, Chad Little, and he got sideways, and that triggered the whole incident.
Pit stop finished on Tom Peck. They'll send him back out. He was a lead lap car. In fact, he was in 4th place at the time of the incident. 10 cars are on the lead lap. Craven, Green, Sadler, Randy LaJoie, Tommy Houston, then Johnny Benson, Tracy Leslie, Johnny Rumley, Jim Bound, and Tom Peck.
You know, working at AutoZone is more than just looking up parts or ringing up sales. Most of all is listening. Because my customers know more about their cars than I'll ever know. They know every rattle by heart. I mean, that car is their baby. So when they got a problem they're gonna fix themselves, I'm gonna do my best to help them get whatever they need, no matter what it takes. Because people like that, they don't deserve anything less than the best I can give them.
Polaroid asked me Sinbad needs supermodels to demonstrate the sleek, stylish Captiva camera. It holds the pictures inside the camera's special pocket till you take them out and put them in your pocket. My pocket. The Polaroid Captiva.
I don't need some fancy cologne to tell me I'm a man. I use Skin Bracer. It smells great, but it also cools and tones my skin. Confidence is very sexy. Don't you think? Skin Bracer Aftershave.
By Menon.
From day one, the hunger was instinctive. The passion, unstoppable. And the drive to dream, to win, and to break new ground will never, never end. TNN Motorsports 1994. Hold on.
20 laps to go at Hickory Motor Speedway. Ricky Craven is the leader. Hope you're enjoying this Easter special. The Winston Select Invitational from Rockingham, North Carolina, Sunday, April 10th. You'll see that at 5 p.m. here on TNN. That's, of course, Rockingham Dragway, not the North Carolina Motor Speedway, across the street. Robert Presley's been in twice now or once for left side tires. Now he comes back to the pit. Chad Little also makes a stop under caution. Ricky Craven has officially 2 Busch Series wins, but they came on New England tracks during combination races with Busch Grand National and Busch Grand National North while he was a Busch Grand National regular. He won at Oxford, Maine and Loudon, New Hampshire in 1991. Since he joined the Southern Tour, or the Busch Grand National Tour, he has not won. Let's show you how he got the lead.
Well, you see Robert Presley on the outside there. David Green gets into him just a little bit. There's a little contact there, and that gives Ricky Craven a good run up on the bottom side of the racetrack.
What a
tremendous
great move.
Oh, yeah.
Great move by Craven. There is just enough asphalt on the bottom for his race car, and he took advantage of it. Let's go to Glenn.
Well, Mike, I went up and talked to John Munson, the crew chief on Ricky Craven, to find out if he thought the car was pushing a little bit. John said that Ricky really hadn't said that he wasn't talking about the car. He was just really concentrating on keeping the car in line, not letting it get loose, get out of shape on him. Right now, what they're really concerned about is all that speedy drive that they put down coming off of turn 4 there, where that last incident took place. He says he's really cautioning Ricky to be careful, try to stay out of that stuff, but man, it is right smack in the middle of the groove.
Now, John Munson is new as crew chief to this team that Craven owns. He got his start in racing as the gopher for Mario Fiore's modified team up at Agawam, Massachusetts, many years back. So another New Englander.
You can't learn any more than those guys can teach you on the modified division up north. That's a great race. I enjoyed that last year when we did that from Loudon. I don't think I've ever seen a race that was any more exciting than that.
That was great fun. A couple of us are, there's a teddy bear repair. A couple of us are going back up for the Spring Sizzler up at Stafford, the big modified race there, Martinsville weekend. Jack Root and I are going to go back where we kind of got our start. Have some fun up there with the modified folks in 2 weeks.
You know, Glenn, they're up here right now running through this oil dry right now, trying to get some of this blown off, because that oil dry is almost as slick as what they're trying to dry up when it's in that state there. So everybody's going to be fighting to get in the low lane on this restart.
Well, the lap cars are trying to move into position. That's Jim Bound on the tail. Is he on the tail end of the lead lap, or is he just a lap down? I think he's just barely 1 lap down. And we're going to stay under caution to get everybody in place.
Well, that'll help that situation with all this oil dry on the fourth turn up here. Everybody's going to want to run through that at least another time.
Yep. Yeah, we're going to stay caution for a couple of laps here to let them do that. Craven is the leader. David Green is second. Hermie Sadler is third. And right now, fourth is Randy LaJoie. Winners that was hosted by our good friend and colleague Neil Bonnet will continue on the Nashville Network. It'll be retitled Neil Bonnet's Winners, and some of the folks that Neil has profiled will come to the camera and the microphone, and through the month of April, many of the shows will feature interviews that Neil did before his untimely death at Daytona back in February. Darrell Waltrip will host a couple, Kenny Bernstein, and some of the other folks that we know as winners. That airs today at 5 p.m. on the Nashville Network. Another trip through the Speedy Dry, and we'll get 1 to go. 15 laps remain. Craven, Green, Sadler, the front 3. Then LaJoie, Houston, and Benson. Then Leslie, Peck, and Rumley having another good run here. Then 1 lap down in 10th place is Jim Bound. 11th is Mike McLaughlin, despite all the spins he's had today. And 12th is Robert Presley. 13th, 2 laps back, is Mike Wallace. Then Kenny Schrader and Stevie Reeves.
Well, Mike, with 15 to go, there's no more dress rehearsal. This is the real show coming up here. I'm going to tell you what. Well, anybody's got anything, they're going to let it go now.
They could break some of these eggs and make an omelet.
You said that. Not
13 laps to go. Craven again gets a great restart. But this time, David Green is right with him, just half a car length back.
See, Randy LaJoy's moved up in the 4th there. Robert Presley's right behind him.
Presley a lap down. 5th is Tommy Houston. And 6th, Johnny Benson. 7th, Tracy Leslie, who's had a good run from a provisional start, 30th spot.
If Ricky can just hold that low line through 3 and 4, nobody's going to get by him. 1 and 2, he's good as anybody. 3 and 4 is the only place he's washed out any at all. If he can keep that car right on the bottom of the racetrack, I think he has this one for a little while. Look at Green. As I say that, he sticks her right up under him there.
You could about squeeze one of those Slim Jims between the two of them. Trouble in 4. Stevie Reeves is against the fence. He's going to coast it back down. Starter has caution in hand. Not going to wave it.
Whoa, he's up on the inside wall there.
Oh, and LaJoy gets into Sadler. They were 3 wide for a moment with Presley, and there just wasn't enough room there. And we get the caution.
They're racing back to the flag right now to see. This is a tremendous move if he makes it.
No, not quite. Craven had to get out of the throttle because of Stevie Reeves in the low groove. Boy, David Green gave it his all. The incident was triggered as Randy LaJoy and Robert Presley got together there coming out of 4. Now look at Presley and Hermie Sadler. Close call. I think the omelet's ready.
I'll tell you what, that's a shame to run this long. This race to the line here had me plumb out of my seat.
How close was it? Well, less than half a car length.
David Green had to try to make that move.
Yes.
Absolutely had to try. I know he didn't want to get in that oil dry on the outside, but he stuck her right out there. He wants to win this race really bad.
Tough break for Hermie Sadler, who will fall to 9th position. And here's the race back to the flag. How close was it?
One half a car length, any way you look at it.
7 laps to go. We'll stay cautioned for at least another 2 of those. And Sadler, now on the tail end of the lead lap, is going to get back up in line. I think Craven is the only car that doesn't show a great deal of damage. Of course, when you lead more than half the race, they got to catch you to bump you.
This looked like one of those movies that radiation damage to a lot of people. These cars are walking wounded around here right now, I'm telling you.
I think when the teams go to Hickory, the body men go to vacation and don't want to hurry back.
You can see the left rear there where they made contact. LaJoy got into that corner there, but Robert Presley went up and come back down, and I think that the 25 car tried to avoid him and turned down just a little bit, and they made contact there.
Now Rumley is a lap down along with Presley. They'll be racing for position when we go back to green. There's your top 5, all on the lead lap with 5 to go, and we're going to race 4 laps to the finish.
While we're coasting around here, we want to say to Jimmy Spencer, get well fast, bub.
Yes.
He had an accelerator hang at testing in North Wilkesboro last week and injured his shoulder. We're thinking about you, big boy.
Broke his collarbone, I believe.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Not too good. That hurts.
4 laps to go. Green flag waves, and again Craven steps it out by a car length. LaJoy right on the back of David Green this time. Has a look, nothing there.
Now you can believe one thing. Ricky Craven's hoping they'll get into a real dogfight back here and let him have that clear bruise. If they get side by side, he'll start moving right on away.
LaJoy was underneath Green, going for second. They touch.
He's there.
And LaJoy has the spot. That will just about hand it to Craven with 2 laps to go. Johnny Benson in 4th, Tommy Houston in 5th, Tom Peck in 6th.
What did Yogi used to say? It ain't over till it's over on this racetrack. White flag is out. David Green's trying to get under him. If he gets under him going into 3, that'll be a quiet maker.
Just nicked him. Figured a good third was better than the fence, and Craven will win it. Ricky Craven, for the first time since joining the Busch Series full-time, will go to victory lane in his own car. The DuPont finishes Chevrolet, and that's about the only car here that doesn't need to be refinished.
Well, nobody caught him all day. He was passing everybody else, but what a tremendous drive by him. I had a feeling all week that he was going to have a good run here.
We said top of the show, this could be the day, and it is for Ricky Craven. He leads the Easter Parade to victory lane. We'll be right back to Hickory Motor Speedway to meet the winner after this.
Race ya for SunDrop? Okay. Man, you never raced that Earnhardt kid for a SunDrop.
Tangy, refreshing SunDrop. The taste you go wild for. And an Earnhardt racing tradition from the very start.
Hey, Dale, racing for SunDrop.
Timmy, don't you ever learn?
For extra value, catch the SunDrop Intimidator.
You know you can count on the Intimidator.
There's no place on earth that I'd rather be than out in the open where it's all plain to see that the land is pure, untamed and free. There's no place that I'd rather be. So come on along and head for the mountains of Busch Beer. Head for the mountains, it's cold and it's smooth and it's waiting for you. Come on, head for the mountains of Busch Beer.
Robert, all we need here is some oil and we'll be ready to crank. Okay. Yes, get us suitcases. I have one.
Yes, sir, right away.
Robert, we're out. Get us suitcases and fly.
There's only one motor oil that Robert Yates Racing relies on for complete protection. Haviland Formula 3 from Texaco.
That was quick.
Yeah, they had it right down the street.
The same Haviland Formula 3 you can use in your car.
Buy a case of Haviland, get a free camera, and a chance for a free trip on Continental Airlines.
If you're looking for a reliable place to service your car or truck, I've got great news for you. It's a Pep Boys Automotive Super Center. No matter what you drive, their ASC certified technicians are here when you need them, day or night, even on Sunday. For Rebestus brakes, TRW rack and pinion repair, diagnostic tune-ups, even air conditioning. For dealer quality service at prices you can afford, come to Pep Boys and drive away happy.
Today's exclusive coverage of the SunDrop 400 on TNN has been brought to you by SunDrop. Race to the great taste of SunDrop. It's a taste you'll go wild for. And by Smooth Busch Beer and easy drinking Busch Light.
Nobody's leaving Hickory Motor Speedway. There's a big late model sportsman race yet to come here that includes 2 Earnhardts and 2 Houstons and a host of other talent. In fact, Andy Petrie's on the pole for that one, Dale Earnhardt's crew chief. But the man of the moment is Ricky Craven, who scored the win here today. And somewhere in that big throng, I'm looking for those pair of long pink ears, but I know Glenn Jarrett's down there somewhere. Glenn?
Not going to see my ears anymore, but boy, you're seeing a happy guy here. First win finally comes at the place of legends, Hickory Speedway. Boy, it was a tough one too, wasn't it?
It's unbelievable. You know, this is exactly where I come from, this type of racing. So, first of all, I want to thank Benny Parsons and Ed Jarrett, Buddy Baker. You know, the last 3 weeks, those guys have come to me and said, you're going to win one very, very soon. I grew up watching those guys. They're the best at what they do. And I have a lot of respect for them, and it really meant a lot to me for those guys to give me that kind of encouragement. We came here, we knew we could win here. We just didn't need to make any mistakes, and this crew is awesome. I mean, they work so hard, and DuPont, Chevrolet, Mobil, Krytox, all the people that support us, Goodyear, the best tire going. What it's all about is these people that buy DuPont paint and Goodyear tires and Chevrolet cars. They're what kept Ricky Craven here.
What about that pass that you made to take the lead? Boy, that was a bold move.
I tell you, my car on the second set was tight, and I was spoiled so bad because the first set was awesome. I mean, it was so easy to drive. Second set got tight, and I knew if I pushed the issue that I was going to, work the right front and we wouldn't have any chance. So I said, I'll wait, 15, 20 laps. He got in a little tight into one, a little bit hard, and that was my only chance.
Well, Ricky, we're about out of time. It's a great win from all of us guys at TNN. Congratulations. We're glad to see you here.
Thank you. Thanks.
Ricky Craven. Ricky Craven wins it. Randy LaJoie, David Green, Johnny Benson, and Tommy Houston. Peck, Sadler, Leslie, Rumley, and Presley. Randy LaJoie leads the points over Kenny Wallace. For Buddy Baker and Glenn Jarrett and all of us at TNN, I'm Mike Joy, congratulating Ricky Craven. on his victory in the SunDrop 400 at Hickory. So long, everybody.
This program has been brought to you in part by your local cable TV operator. You're watching TNN, the #1 source for country music, entertainment, and information.
So when I turn the key, it sounds like my